What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning back in to Common Man Carbine. It's Wednesday, it's raining pretty hard, but despite all that, I'm out here to shoot and hopefully get you guys a good video put out. Today we're going to do a deeper dive on positional shooting specifically. As you can see, we've got the Vortex Radiant Carbon tripod and our Armageddon Gear Game Changer out today. We're going to position the tripod itself at varying heights, and I'm going to go into why I feel certain positions are best for barricades at certain heights. Understand that I'm not a professional. I'm a guy that's shot a few DMR competitions, and I just want to convey what's worked for me to you guys. The gun in question is the same one we've shot in past videos. It's a Sons of Liberty Gunworks broadsword, chambered in 223 Wild. We're also shooting the same ammunition we have in the previous video. It's Hornady Black, 75 grain Botail hollow point, the 223 load. Stand by. We're going to go ahead and get to shooting here in just a second. All right, guys, something I want to touch on before we get into positional shooting itself is support equipment for positional shooting, namely the Armageddon Gear Game Changer. This is a Schmedium. It's a little worse for wear. You'll notice, even though this thing's worn out, that it's got that point in the middle. That point is, in my mind, a reference to let the shooter know where to stage the bag on a barricade before the gun interfaces with the barricade. So you'll notice when I slap the bag to set it, the fill went to either side of it, and in doing so keeps this thing nice and firmly planted in place so that when the gun goes on it, it's got a nice stable shooting platform with plenty of surface area to the left, to the right, in front, behind, etc. So, you know, when the shooter is engaging targets downrange, if that particular shooter's fundamentals are good, the gun should stay exactly where it's at, allowing that particular user to track targets downrange, mitigate recoil effectively, etc. Certainly something I would build into your budget for a DMR, especially if you plan on competing. So the Armageddon Gear Game Changer. You'll see them everywhere once you start going to matches. All right, guys, so the first barricade height / body position we're going to cover is standing. This one's actually a lot easier to mess up than you would think. I personally struggled with it for some time before figuring out how to effectively position my body relative to the barricade and the rifle to not only ID targets quickly, but provide a good foundation for recoil mitigation should a follow-up shot be necessary. So what I observed in my own experience with these height barricades, I would get the bag set, you know, provide as much surface area as possible for the gun. I would get the gun set, and I'd get behind it, only to find that I had trouble IDing the target, and also, like, once I had taken an initial shot, had trouble mitigating recoil in an effective way to be able to take a fast follow-up shot. I fixed this by learning to roll my hip forward and sag my lower back towards the point between my feet. Thus, you know, putting all of this, like my skeletal structure underneath the gun to help mitigate recoil. With a foot bladed, there's nothing underneath the point at which recoil is transferring to my body, which allows the gun to push you around a lot more than if you've got your entire skeleton, this entire half of your skeleton at least, underneath it. So, one thing I found with this is targets are a lot easier to ID, and also follow-up shots were a breeze by comparison. So we're going to go ahead and load the gun up, break the timer out, and demo a first round impact for you just to show how this is what I feel effective. Alright guys, the next position / barricade height we'll get into is double knee and below beltline barricades. The double knee seems to be most guys' natural inclination whenever they encounter a barricade this height, and it is effective. You know, the only point of contention I have with double knee is the fact that it doesn't really enable the shooter to move quickly once they've successfully engaged the target from, you know, that particular barricade. Nonetheless, it is actually an effective solution, and you should use it when it's necessary. We're going to go ahead and demo it now. All right, guys, so we're still working with below the belt line barricades. I'm going to explain a different way to approach them, you know, a different position to use should you opt to. It's the single knee. You'll notice when I put my hand on the pistol grip, that tucks my right elbow in front of my right knee and establishes all of this bone structure behind it. We're talking the entirety of my right leg, even though it's at a 90-degree angle, and my right hip, in addition to, you know, the portion of my upper body that's behind the gun soaking up recoil. This aids a lot in tracking targets in a compressed position and also helps to mitigate recoil should a follow-up shot be necessary. My favorite thing about single knee is that it enables the shooter to very expediently move out of position and get to the next one whenever he needs to you know, engage the target at the next barricade and not par out in front of his buddies. Stand by, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate single knee. Alright guys, so next we're going to cover rooftops and some of the complications presented by rooftops for shooters in a competition setting. So you can see, given their pitch, that there's going to be a void created between the corner of the stock and the bottom of the rooftop. And the trick is to find something to fill that void. Something like this backpack I've got on works really well. Most matches I've attended have allowed backpacks for this specific purpose. We're going to go ahead and demonstrate, you know, how to build position effectively on a rooftop and give yourself a stable shooting foundation to engage targets downrange. Stand by. Alright guys, we're rounds complete, bringing an end to range day and of course this video. I hope you got a lot out of what I had to explain about positional shooting and also the demos themselves. You know, I think positional shooting is a very integral part to the DMR SPR ethos. It adds a lot of capability and flexibility to an already very capable and flexible tool. I would urge all of you to seek out competition. Those skills are best developed when pressure tested against your peers. You know, if you're on the Eastern Seaboard, you can look up the Geisley Gas Gun Series, Tactical Sniper Series, Quantified Performance. Those matches are popping up everywhere. Just log into your practice score, search for any of those, and I'm sure a match near you will pop up. I would like to extend a special thank you to a group of dudes who will remain unnamed that helped me get my start in the DMR SPR genre and did a lot of coaching pertinent to positional shooting. Thanks, dudes. You guys know who you are. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, jump in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see next. Let me know what I can polish up. I'm open to any and all suggestions. I certainly appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.